Hello, in this video I'm going to show you some more basics in Excel. So basically I'm going to go from having this, just some numbers and text, to something that's a little more appealing, but also something that uses formulas. So this is for a beginner. This might be a good place to start. Okay, so first off, what I need to do is, this is basically a story problem, the initial cost. If the initial price per share is $40.12 and a half, what would I need to type there is a few different things. I could do equals this times this, right? That's one way to do it. And right now it's showing these money dollar or pound signs. That just means the number is too large, so I need to widen it out. That's one way to do it. If I go to my auto sum, for example, I could look up the function, but really that's not really necessary. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to drag it down to the bottom, and it's going to fill in the rest. If you double click on these, you can see that it's just taking this times this. Basically it knows that I was trying to times column D by column E, and I can just, again, the way I did that is you need to actually not drag here. If I do that, that is nothing. You have to grab that little box in the corner and then drag that down all the way. Okay? Alright. So current value then, what would that be? So here's our current price. So actually same idea. I have the same amount of shares, and I'm going to need to times them by the current price. I hit enter. Again, my column's not wide enough, so I just got to click between the H and the I there. And I'm going to drag that little guy down, and boom, I have the rest in there. All right, now gain or loss. For that, I could do equals, and I could just do current value minus the original cost. And so if I enter, you see that now it's saying, it should have said I lost $8,000. That's what the little parentheses around the sides are. And I'm going to drag that down, and I have the rest. Alright, so percent gain and loss. Let's go back to the other one real quick, make sure you got this all right. Alright, there it is, percent gain and loss. Okay. Alright, so if we go back to the other one, we can just do equals percent gain or loss, and do divide that by our initial cost. I hit enter, and it's saying I lost 28.35%. I could drag that down and see what I got, and there it is. And so you can see this conditional formatting that probably wasn't there for you guys to start out with. So I'm going to clear the rules. The way you can make that work though is you can highlight them, go to conditional formatting, highlight cells greater than, less than, equal to. So we'll say anything less than 0. All right, can be light red with dark text, or you can go in here and custom format, and it'll bring up this little dialog box, and I can choose what I want. It's taking a second to come in, it looks like. All right, so number, font, border, fill. So maybe I want to fill it with this red right here, or orange. I'm gonna do orange. I'm gonna OK, and you know, whatever, something like that looks fine though. All right, cool. And now what I can do is start filling in the rest. One thing, you know, you can see a difference already from the rest is, you know, these are all bold and the other ones aren't. And another thing we could do is put in these totals. Now, total doesn't make sense everywhere. It only makes sense in some spots, really. But here's my total. You know, you could total up the initial price. That doesn't make sense because you already have shares. So I'm going to total all these up. I can do equals this less this, but really that takes too long. The better way to do it is just do equals sum, and I could say F2 colon, and then down to F9, and then parenthesis, finish that up. I hit enter, and it should give me a total number there. It's going to make a column wider. There we go. And so I could do the same thing with current value. So again, equals sum, and I could say here to here, right? Just click and drag down, H2 to H9, semicolon, and then parenthesis, enter, and I have the rest filled out. Oops, these shouldn't be filled out here, so let me fill those in. So I should now be able to take these and just grab that little box and drag it down the rest of the way, and same with here, I can drag that little box down and see the percent gain or loss. So overall, we should have made 42% on our investments, which is pretty amazing. Ooh, my number over here is a little bit different. I have to go back and see what the difference is here. But it should be the same. Well, let's see what's going on. So I can double click on this and see it's doing this divided by that. Alright, that doesn't seem too bad. This one says 57%, so let's double click on this. Ooh, this one doesn't have the, oh, see that? If I'm working in one and I go to the other, it thinks I want to work them together. Alright. Oh, this is bringing up the average, which probably makes some sense. So actually it's a different number. So let's go back to the other one. I could average these out. So I could do equals and then do average and then click from here to here down and so I say average and from here to here, there we go. So average J2 to J9, parenthesis, enter, I could do that. But really, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. That's averaging out the percentages, but some of our stocks cost more in the beginning than others. So really the way it was probably makes most sense. So sorry if you just had to do that again. So I'm going to take that little corner piece and bring that down. I should really have 41 or almost 42%. All right, so averages. Now let's do that quick. Averages is basically, it's really simple. I'm going to, again, average and then parenthesis, and I can highlight all these and then parenthesis, hit enter, and I'm golden. And I can just take that and I can drag it all the way across. Actually, it doesn't make sense for some of these though. Like, why would you? Some of these doesn't make really that much sense to average, but we can leave it on there. And you'll notice a lot of these don't say dollar signs. So let's say, you know, that really all of these would probably be dollar signs. So I'm going to click the little dollar sign right there. This one's not going to be a dollar sign. Instead, it's going to be a percentage sign. So I got to click right here. All right, and if I want to see more decimal points, let's say I want to see 2, I go like that. All right. And I don't want to mistake the total with the average there, so yeah, I'll leave it alone. All right, so the highest, that is equals, and let me show you a different way. You can just go to formulas here, and I can go to max, and I can just highlight, oops, let me do that again. Let's just do equals max, and then from here to here, oops, see that didn't work. I gotta make that wider so it shows up. If it says this, it means I didn't do it right. I actually have to start writing the parenthesis, then highlight it, and then finish the parenthesis, and then that would work. So you can see like my highest in here is 975 and add it up. So max D2 to D9. Or I could just do, like I said, I could do min, and I don't want a minimum from this area, I want a minimum from this area. Okay, and I hit enter. Now again, I can take both of these now. I can highlight both at once, and then just take that little box right there and drag it across, and I'm filled in. And again, these should probably be dollar signs. So back to home, let's make that a dollar sign. And then these should be percentages. So percentages. All right, great. So looking pretty good here. You'll see this one's -71. I probably should have done that same conditional formatting. So again, I can go up to here and I can do less than, and I can do 0. And again, I could do my own formatting. Now it's fine. And let me show you. You can also clear formatting and go to clear rules from selected cells. This way they'll all match. So highlight cell rules less than 0, hit enter, there. All right, cool. Let's take all these, make them bold, just because they're the titles of rows. And also, we really should have this titled at the very top. So I'm going to right click on this one and do insert. It's got to be right here on the right side. And now I have this this area here. That's going to be my title. So I'm going to merge and center. It's this button right here. And inside there, I can do, what was it? Greenbacks. Oops. Stocks. Something like that. Let me just check here. Greenback Stock Club. Not a big deal either way. All right, and let me show you one other thing in there too. So I got Greenback Stock Club, and I can highlight that, and I can change the size of it. So I'll go like size 22, and it's kind of small. So right here between the 2 and the 1, I can make that a little bit larger if I need to. Otherwise, then I can also fill or let's turn it white and then do a fill color of dark green here. Ooh, I don't like any of those greens. No, that's not bad. You can also go to more colors and really choose the green we want. I want money green basically. There we go. Maybe I'd also bold that as well. Alright, there we go. That's looking pretty good. Also, to kind of separate the data from the total, I could highlight this bottom line here and go over here to borders, and I could do a bottom border, and I'm going to do you can do like a double bottom border, and that way it kind of separates the data out there. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let me just check the other one to see if there's anything else we're missing. Here's what it should look like in the end. Looks pretty good to me. Yep. Alright, cool. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm just zoomed out a little bit more on the other one. Maybe it's a little taller. But that's about it. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck.